Part 4.
Part 4. You've clapped, haven't you?
I have clapped.
Excellent. Okay, let's carry on. So obviously we touched in part 1 on your YouTube channel and the videos you've done together. And you did one about the whole U-Haul experience.
Yes.
Do you want to kind of elaborate on that a little? I mean, we'll leave links and stuff for it, but for the sake of the podcast.
We thought it would be funny to convince our viewers that we had bought a house together, because from the second that we posted a video, being two women who are interested in both women and men, we, as a collective, everyone just assumed, because of that one aspect of our personalities, that we were instantly like dating, seeing each other together. They assumed that we were in a relationship. And because of that, we thought it'd be quite funny to wind everybody up and say, we've bought a house together. So obviously we went to the classic IKEA, we took some shots, we was like, oh my God, we've got this key, you're never going to guess what we've done. And at the end, we had like a brief little rundown of the fact that, look, two girls can be friends. You don't have to be together to be this close.
Again,
we are
two people can be friends.
Yeah, two people can be friends. Yeah, you are
always
so right.
correcting it.
Yeah, no, but like, we are very, very close.
Yeah.
We are so close. We see each other all the time. It doesn't mean that we're in a relationship. It doesn't mean that any of that sort of stuff is going on. And that is the misconception that people are getting from our videos. And I think that naturally people do, because of like what my channel was before and like what it is now. But also just natural instinct makes people assume that there is something more going on.
Why does nobody have that perception of us?
No, they do.
Oh, do
they
they?
do.
Is that what we give? Is that the vibe we're giving off?
Yeah, we are getting a house though. That's the only difference.
So yeah, like we made a video winding people up that we bought a house together, even though we obviously didn't.
Yeah.
So,
and then
afterwards,
afterwards you went on to talk about the whole U-Haul
How people
experience.
jump straight in.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah, we
together.
were obviously trying to get a point across.
Yeah, like we had a purpose. We had a
Yeah.
we had a vision.
Carry
Even
on,
though
I'm
we've
just gonna
only known
shut
each
that
other
door.
like a month.
We've known each other for like 3 months.
No, back then.
Do not.
Pretty sure I've seen some of the older videos which are older than 3 months, but
But it was more like, because we'd only known each other such a little time, people assumed that we were that far
into it, like
Yeah.
that there was more
So
to
then
it.
we had a discussion. We were like, do people actually do that?
And people do.
How do
Yeah,
people
people
do that?
do.
How do people go, right, we've been on 3 dates, we've been to Nando's, you've taken me to mini golf, let's be together.
how
Exclusive.
who told you how I date?
We just
assumed.
Yeah.
We assumed.
Don't you shout, I love you.
Tinder bio.
To be fair, whenever there's a woman I like, I just sort of panic. I go, I love you, and then hopefully that sticks. But it's not been going well. I'll be honest with you.
Maybe take them to Nando's.
Yeah,
You've got to go with your gut feel and your own
You got
technique.
to go to that. It's the place that men feel the most confident because they know everything on the menu. And you ask them to replace the like medium flag with a hot, just to impress the woman.
Yeah, but how?
Like, it's
It's
so true,
just-
isn't it?
yeah.
Like, that is what
Nando's is
people
the
do.
go-to.
I hate
You ask the waiter to stand aside.
I hate dinner dates in general because I think it's such a like
Cliche.
I love dinner dates. Well, I just
No.
love food. I just
I just think it creates.
Sounds like me.
I just love food. Like if it's like, oh, do you want to be with me? Not really. Oh, I'm still hungry, so we're gonna do this because I'm starving.
It's just very cliche. Like, it's
And
the
I
same
think-
as a cinema date. Why
would you want to sit with someone in silence?
Exactly, and the same with food. Like, you're gonna have like the awkward small talk, but you're both thinking, "Oh my God, I can't wait for the food to get here." The food gets there, and you look at each other like,
Yeah,
you don't even talk.
it's true. And like,
Why do you?
There's date food as well. Like that's the thing when you sit
Oh,
at Nando's.
God, yeah.
I can't take a girl to Nando's
Because you have to
because
pick up the pita bread, and you know that as soon as you bite into
'Cause
it, your
he-
lettuce falls out the
it's-
bottom.
it's
no,
not
he eats a
that-
whole chicken with his hands.
pretty much like if I'm gonna go, I'm gonna do it properly.
Well, then that's when you know whether they're worth it.
Yeah.
Because they'll go, "Oh my God, you're so
Because
beautiful when you
you're
do that."
When he's
Oh, you're a
licking
good
his-
liar.
Garnier.
Licking his fingers.
Garnier advert.
What? Sorry, I didn't hear you with all the chicken in my mouth. Yeah, no, that's the thing. And then you go, if we go to an Italian restaurant, that's fine. Pizza, that's difficult. Do you do it with a knife and fork like a crazy psycho
It's more
person?
intense
Or do you
if
fold it
you've
up
just
and then
got
use
a-
it with your mouth? Do you spaghetti? Spaghetti everywhere.
That's the
Yeah.
thing, and I can never ever remember which spaghetti is the one that you need to twirl up and like.
It's
It's
called
called spaghetti.
Spaghetti?
There's penne.
Pasta. I mean,
There's
tagliatelle. Yeah, no. So you know when you
there's
say
spaghetti, you know the one that you have to twirl up on the floor.
oh fuck, you
I've
know
done
when
it
you said
again.
you know
I've
when
done
you
it
said
again.
oh no, pasta. So pasta is what you weren't meant to say.
What did I say last
said
week?
spaghetti,
I said, you know when you get to Spain and it feels like
Spanish.
Yeah.
What's it like being in Brazil? I imagine probably Brazilish.
What I meant was I can never because different restaurants do pasta in different ways. So you can order a carbonara in certain places and it will come out as just you can stab it with a fork and eat it. Whereas sometimes it will come out as spaghetti.
How else would
and then
you do
you've got
it?
to cut it up and spoon it. And no, because if it's the type you've got to spoon and twist and it's all
it
hanging out
upsets
your
me
mouth
you
and then
don't
you're
know
sucking it
enough
up like a
about
worm.
Well, I think that's good. I think that's good for them to see how you're going to eat in
I
a week's
think
time
yeah,
anyway.
I
The
don't
reality is you should eat how you eat with someone.
But
because
I just don't think you ever will.
No, but I think I do anyway. I don't eat any differently to how I'm going to eat in 6 months' time because I just think
We had this discussion over
If you're
Nando's,
going to see me like
obviously.
this now, I don't want you to be shocked in the future. So let me just tell you how it is.
Six chips
I'm letting you
hanging
know
out of
early.
my mouth.
But one of my pet peeves in people is how they eat.
Yep.
I eat very consciously.
Yeah, me too.
Because I fucking hate the people that chomp,
Yeah.
people that
We literally had this
open their
exact
mouths,
same discussion.
Like, all of this stuff
Yeah.
turns me off.
The-
They're all So
Do you know what?
On a friendship basis, she looked at me whilst I was eating and she went, "You're a very pretty eater." Because I was going,
I've been told I eat like a woman because I'm so sort of cautious about the way that I eat, because that again, similarly for me,
too much pressure
similarly-
for a
similarly-
first date.
It just winds me up, like people who have
You're
no
thinking
manners
too
at the
much about
table
how
and
you're
stuff.
eating that you're not focusing
Exactly.
on them.
I just think it creates
You need
a
to be. It
false
needs to be
environment.
intense. You need to be looking at them and eye contact
Yeah.
and just be like.
But then there's something to be said as well, that with food. Food's a huge, for me anyway, I think it's very fundamental importance between the relationship and what you enjoy and whatnot. So I think there's something to be said about dinner dates, maybe not as a first.
I wouldn't ever do it
not
as a first
first.
date.
But for
Second.
Eventually,
Yeah.
maybe after 2 or 3 when you're more comfortable with each other and you can, because otherwise if you go on a first date and you go to a restaurant and both of you are immediately forced into a situation where you have to kind of act like proper. Does that make sense? Where you can't just sort of be yourselves and I just think you go for a drink, you just talk to each other and you just learn about each other.
I do get what you're saying, and I would never opt for a dinner date as a first date, but at the same time, I think that it's a good testament to who that person actually is.
Okay.
At the same time, because
On the first date, it brings in too much nerves, though. So you've got 1, the food, 2, the nerves, 3, the force, the
but
pressure.
who gets?
It's just too much.
I don't get
The
nervous.
waitress
about
knows you're on a
food.
first date as well.
I think I don't get nervous about food because I know that I'm like an immaculate eater. So I don't have that worry.
So that's the thing. I feel like I painted myself as this monster. I agree that always mouth shut, hate chomping sort of stuff. But I will eat with my fingers.
With my hands.
But yeah, saying that, I'm saying that as just to throw things out here. But I've never gone on a dinner date for a first date.
I'm trying to think of ways that you
No.
eat. Even silly little things we'll have Chinese at hers, but she might be a nice eater, but fucking hell, she literally grabs the stuff and slaps it on the plate. And she's the shittest presenter ever. And she comes to mine and I piece you have 1 tofu, I have 1
You
tofu.
must-
She just goes,
Right, you must admit though, despite my presentation, I'm Gordon fucking Ramsay in the kitchen.
Wow,
You're right.
I've claimed that I'm Graham Norton on a podcast. So
you're right for a
Gordon
vegan.
Ramsay in the kitchen.
I cook amazing food, don't I?
For a vegan, yeah.
Wait, look at you playing it down.
That is true.
Don't look at us for
vegan.
support, dear.
No.
Let me cook you guys a meal.
No, honestly, she
Yeah.
is a phenomenal cook. And it is all vegan.
Is it something that you enjoy, like cooking?
Yes, she does.
It came over me all of a sudden.
What did it?
Yeah.
And
You
just
need to
all of a
have
sudden you were
falafel vegan pizza. We had that the other day and she was like, "You're going to love it." I'm like, "I don't think I will."
And you
And I
tasted
ate it and I
you
was like,
oh,
Have you been to the Railway Hotel in town?
no.
Right, for a vegan, you're a bad one, right? Because that is the best vegan food in Southend, hands down, straight
How
up.
do you know that?
I've got a few friends who are vegan.
They haven't met me yet.
No, seriously, it's stunning. I'm not a vegan, but I go there and the food is gorgeous. I'm yeah, straight up. People who just aren't vegans just go there because the food is gorgeous, really good.
I think that the main thing is being able to create them same tastes, textures, and feelings from food and putting that into a vegan meal. That's how you win people over.
They did it. They've got a
Yeah.
fish and chips, their own fish and chips and it's flaky like fish. It looks like it, and it tastes like it, and it's like, wow, this is amazing. And the base, because the bottom of the skin on like fishes is darker and all this. They use seaweed instead to emulate that, and the whole thing is like, wow, this is nuts.
It's like an experience, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like if you can recreate someone's favourite food in that way, I think you're winning.
Successfully, yeah.
Banana ice cream as well. That's mad.
I'm really good at banana ice cream.
Yeah, it's good.
What, from scratch?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so easy. You freeze it, and that's it.
Other than the ice cream that I got you the other day, like, not got you, but it was in my freezer anyway, that you didn't eat, and it sat on my windowsill, and then actually like seeped out of the packet, and I had to like bleach my whole windowsill, but I didn't tell you that after you left. Other than that, every single ice cream that I've ever eaten in the whole like time since I've been vegan has been homemade, other than that one pot that I bought, because I make amazing ice cream. Because like if you're passionate about something, you learn the way. So like I can make any dessert, any meal, anything, because I like it.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Food is so good.
Thanks. I feel like I've just been talking about myself.
No, don't be silly. So obviously we touched on like the relationships thing and the U-Haul thing and all that kind of thing, because it was a really interesting video and the way you presented it and stuff, and like because people do that like way too often. But obviously, and we kind of talked to Martin about this, and like if people are watching this, they'll have, or have watched all of our videos, they'll have seen that by the time they see this. But we talked to him kind of like, I kind of just asked him what it was like to sort of date back kind of 10, 15 years ago, like when it was obviously I think it would have been longer than that actually. Obviously not trying to disrespect Martin at all, but you know, he's a lot older than us. So obviously it was kind of interesting to get his opinion on that and kind of see, because I think the world that we've been brought up in, and like the way that we are now, and like social media and all that kind of thing, I think makes relationships like one harder and two like easier to butcher, because you present this ideal which is not the reality, and then people think everything's great in your relationship, and then all of a sudden things go tits up, and then everyone's in your business and everyone wants to know what's going on, kind of thing, which obviously I'm sure you've experienced firsthand running a YouTube channel. Definitely. But do you think it's too easy, and I'm not sort of condoning it or making it acceptable in any way, but do you think it's too easy for people to cheat these days, as opposed to sort of looking at it 15, 20 years ago?
No, because I think
if you're going to cheat, you're going to cheat no matter how much you're on social media.
So like regardless
how much
of
you're
social
influenced.
media, regardless of all of that, I agree with you. If someone wants to stray, they will. Doesn't matter whether there's social media. It doesn't matter whether they go out that older night people naturally. Like, because someone could go and talk to someone on social media, but they could at the same time go out that night and go and do whatever the
older
fuck they
people
want.
that don't even have Instagram and Snapchat and Tinder and stuff like that, they still cheat because it's just
But I just think.
Do you think it's an increase?
I'm not.
Maybe.
I'm not sort of biased either
massively.
way.
Yeah.
I don't think that social media has necessarily changed it. I think that our perception of relationships and our inability to settle for anything less than what we believe we deserve has increased. Whereas in the past, there's been a lot of stigma and a lot of I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for, but there was a standard of what you should be, and it was very frowned upon to be anything but that. And if you wasn't seeing the same person married and had kids and kept that within your family, you'd be shunned upon, you'd be ostracized. Your whole life would fall apart. That's not like that anymore. The social norm has changed. So I don't think it's necessarily about us as people. I think that we're less scared because there's not as many constrictions, there's not as many boundaries, because we're all so much more open. Whereas before we was very closed. We was very like, oh, that's so bad, like that's so naughty, like I've had sex before marriage, Jesus Christ, I'm going to hell. Whereas now that's not the way that it is. We've grown beyond that. The stigmas that we moan about now, not the stigmas that were related to us in the past, and we've expanded. I don't believe.
I think it's to do with people making too much attention on the fact that like people cheat. Like you get into a relationship and you go, well, you're obviously going to cheat on me because you go out. It's what they see on social media and what they've experienced in the past. Everyone is different. Like you could date someone that was a cheater, but then you meet someone else. They're not necessarily going to cheat on you just because your ex did.
No,
I think that's where the main increase is, because assumptions cause people to cheat. So if someone was to
Yeah.
accuse me, oh, you're going to cheat on me, you're going to cheat on me, you're going to cheat on me, it's going to get to the point where you think, well, I might as well.
Might as well
I might
do
as
it.
well.
If you're being
You're gonna
accused
keep going
of
on
something
about
for
it.
so long, you might as well get the glory out of it as well as like the blame.
And people who are that kind of that way inclined to sort of to talk to people that way and be like, and put so much pressure on you to kind of be this ideal that you end up then, like you said, like swaying the other way. I think there's something like, because I've kind of been in that situation where people like instead, like, because you've got no reason to believe that I would do something like that, and I've given you no indication that I ever would. But if you keep bringing it up, then it's obviously like
It's like
it
a
has the
massive-
opposite
it's a massive
effect.
thing with me. People message me and they're like, oh, so you've got 14,500 followers on Instagram, so you're obviously going to go off with one of them. What? Why?
Yeah, that
Well,
doesn't
why,
make any
why would
difference.
that make any difference? Well, you're
Yeah.
obviously popular, so you're popular with people, and people talk to you, and people compliment you. That doesn't make me inclined to cheat. I'm not going to cheat on you.
Yeah.
I think that's
Because of
that's
that.
somebody else's insecurities coming
Yes.
out within them.
But that's not fair to put it
That's
on
not
me.
fair to put it on you, because at the end of the day, just because you have a certain amount of followers, it doesn't mean that you are more likely to cheat.
Yeah.
If you're interested in someone, you're not gonna.
But it's like if I'm talking to someone and then they turn around. Anytime anyone mentions anything about my followers, it instantly puts me off them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's got nothing. That's not me. That's that side of me.
I
Like,
think as soon
I'm a
as somebody
different
mentions
person.
it though, that is clearly that they're like, they can't handle that. They're insecure about
like
it.
anyone
It's
that knows
who-
me, like you, obviously you're getting to know me, but you two know me.
Yeah.
That's not the real me.
No, not at
That's that.
Yeah.
It's different. It's like business and
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
of
I
course it
remember
is.
you bringing that up to me, and I was just like, your followers literally mean nothing.
what's
Like,
your first like?
Yeah,
Forget that you know me. You go onto my Instagram. What do you think first off? Arrogant prick. To put it bluntly, loves herself, self-absorbed, goes to the gym, doesn't care about anyone but herself. But knowing me, I'm the complete opposite.
No, yeah, like when you
Yeah.
know someone, and I don't think you can necessarily pass a judgment on a first image. I think it's completely unfair, because we all portray our lives in a way that makes us seem wonderful on social media, because
of
that's
course.
just what we do. That's the world that we live in.
I think there's something to be said about, I don't think many people, especially in our age and younger generations, are ever going to really experience much happiness in their life. And it's contradictory to be saying something like this on a social media platform, but I think it's mainly because of social media. You look at how much they're achieving, how much you're either not going to get there, when realistically, I mean, it's a bit of a false pretense.
Yeah.
It's a thing that's created.
Even the people that are like looking like they're living their best lives still have their worst days.
Yeah.
We all do.
I think
we all
it comes
do.
down to that thing that we talk about as well, with like the money element and like people who do get very financially stable and whatnot, and it doesn't make them happy. I think you've got to remember it's the little things. I mean, I remember talking to you, and I think I might have said it before. It's like my perfect Sunday would be going to play some football, getting really tired, or going to the gym, going home, having a nice roaring fire with some friends, have some food.
Mm-hmm.
That is the best Sunday for me. And then if I'm in a relationship, then see the person who I'm seeing, and that for me, I'm like,
Then that
that's
goes on.
happiness.
That goes on to like relationships and social media. I personally think that everyone's different. Stop ripping on people that post 20 pictures a day of their girlfriend or boyfriend.
That's what they want
Stop
to
ripping
do.
on people that don't do that. Like
Yeah.
whatever makes
but
them
don't
happy.
compare your life to
Yeah.
that, because you'll never find happiness.
Oh, am
from
I
that.
happy
Yeah.
because I don't post
You-
20
But it's-
photos?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
never going to compare to anyone, because we're all so different.
It's what you and your
Yeah.
partner want to do. If you want to stay secluded, that's fine. If you want to post every day, that's fine. The people that matter care,
Well, no, and
the people that don't care
and
don't matter. I'm going down the slippery slope
let's
again.
not
Let's
go
just
there
move
again.
on, please.
But I think it's I think you have to be switched on enough to understand that what you see on social media and this like idealistic relationship, because all the celebrities do it, don't they? They all post these wonderful pictures together, all blown up and edited and whatever they might be at fancy restaurants and on fancy holidays and stuff. And it's like, I mean, you touched on it when you did your breakup video, and you said like that's something you're only seeing 10 minutes of my life.
Did you watch that one?
Yeah, I did my research.
You watched my moving on video.
Yeah, you did.
I love that you
did
watched
my research.
that video.
I mean, we've got guests coming on. You have to kind of know what you're
I
talking
love
about.
it.
But do you know what I mean? Like,
I
and it's the
completely get
same
it.
with like celebrity culture when you're talking about. You go on Kim Kardashian's Instagram page and you see all these fantastic pictures she's taken, but she's not going to post like she woke up in the morning and felt like shit and just had a good cry for 2 hours, is she? Like, why would she do that? That's not what it's about.
Yeah.
But it's about being like switched on to the point where you can understand that it's like, okay, well, like that looks great and stuff, but like that's not reality.
Yeah,
is
because
not
I
like
did touch
that.
on that video. I was just like, you all perceive like me and her to be this united perfect thing, because that's what we've let onto in the videos. Like, yeah, it looks like amazing, we travel the world together, we have all these amazing things together, we do all of this, we do all of that, it looks phenomenal. But like you dig deep into the roots of the relationship and you realize where it all breaks down. Like, it's not as easy as like what you put on social media. You put that on there because that is what you want to show people.
You wake up next to them at 3 a.m.
and you're like, fuck this,
makeup's all gone like that, and you're like,
everywhere.
Good.
Yeah, exactly.
That literally screams my like ex maybe. She actually made me wake up one morning because she knew she was going home. I think I spoke to you about this.
You told me this story the other day.
And it's weird how guys aren't the same as it. Like any boyfriend I've ever had, they've been like, you can do what the fuck you want. But this particular female woke me up at 7 o'clock. She was going home at 10. She woke me up and told me to put my makeup on, told me to get dressed, told me to get a photo of me and her cuddling so that she could post it on Instagram to say, don't want to leave this one.
That is ridiculous.
She went at 10 and I went back to bed and I was like, what did I just do? I spent 3 hours.
Yeah.
Why did we not wake up at 7 and spend 3 hours together?
That's what I said to you. Like, why didn't you just spend that time together?
Yeah.
Was that person, did they have like a quite a social media presence?
If you was to look on their Instagram now, they have over 50,000 followers.
Yeah.
That's
because of that picture you took.
but that's the thing. Then you've got to say it's got to be a balancing act at a certain point. You've got to say, right.
Anyone that said mine and her relationship was perfect and we had everything, we didn't, because the second in the photos we're going, I guarantee you after every single photo I went, all right, well I'm just going to do this now. It was toxic. It was complete toxic.
It's not good for you.
No, it's not.
Okay, cool. Interesting. Another 20 minutes flown.
Jesus.
Gone again.
Has it been 20 already?
Yes, it's been 20 minutes,
I need another wee.
What a shock.
So
it was the red. The red.
So I think we'll do one more and we'll do your 2 truths and a lie. So that'll be that'll be good. That'll be interesting. So make sure you return for that.
I stood up. I'm sorry, say it again.
You said you were going to. So.
Ready? I didn't click. Why not?
Let's just.
Can you click? Okay.